This is our small group video to go with our second sermon in the series, Elijah. We're covering 1 Kings chapter 18, verses 17 through 39. Be great to read that in your small group. There are slides with questions to discuss at the end of this video. Today we're talking about the subject of who is your God. That's the issue that Elijah is facing in 1 Kings chapter 18. The nation of Israel had gone after King Ahab and Jezebel as they had pursued the pagan religion of Baal. And Baal was the god of weather, the god of fertility. And so you can imagine and try not to imagine what worship to Baal would have been like. And no matter what you imagined, it wouldn't have been near as brutal and wicked as you could think. And so the nation of Israel was headed down that path. But the thing was, they hadn't quite given up Judaism either. They still had a God on one hand and Baal on the other. And so Elijah's calling the nation of Israel to task over that. And so today we look at Elijah as he invites them, or God challenges them to a showdown, if you will, at Mount Carmel. And there, basically, Elijah says to the people of Israel, he says, "How much longer will you waver, hobbling between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, then follow him." But the people were completely silent. So the people had a decision to make, and Elijah was forcing that. Actually, God was forcing that. Because Elijah's name means Jehovah is God, and Jezebel's name meant Baal exalts. And so you see their very names show that they're coming against each other, assaulting the idea of who God is. And the reality is that we all have a God, and we may have several, but there's only one true God. And that's what Elijah's trying to force that day. So he has a competition. He gives the prophets of Baal the opportunity to go first. The competition is that they're going to sacrifice an animal, put it on an altar, and ask their God to bring down fire from heaven. The prophets of Baal and all their supporters work on this all day long. They work on it passionately. They work on it sincerely. But there is no God of Baal. There's only one true God. And so in the end, they fail. And Elijah has a little fun with it. It's a great story to read because he makes fun of them. You don't really see Elijah. I don't often think of Elijah as a fun guy, but he had fun that day. And then he called, at the time of the evening sacrifice, he killed the bull that he was going to ask God to burn by fire. And then they built the altar, put the bull on it, and then they turned the thing into a swimming pool. I mean, they just drenched everything with water. Elijah prayed to God and said, "Lord, answer me. Answer me so these people will know that you, O Lord, are God, and that you have brought them back to yourself." So you see, this is really God reaching out to his people. Well, as soon as he prays, fire falls from heaven. It burns up the bull, the rocks, whatever lumber was there, and all the water too. There's just a scorched crater left when God's done. And that is it. People begin to declare that the Lord, that he is God. Boom, mic drop. However you want to think about it, basically God decisively stated and proved that he loved them, that he wanted them to return, that they had gone astray and they had failed, and he was a forgiving God pursuing them. That's what we want to take from this today. We want to ask ourselves a question: who is our God? Because when we serve lesser gods than the true God, what we're really doing is serving ourselves. I'd say there are only two gods. There's the true God and there's me. And I use other gods like money, entertainment, escapes, lust, whatever those things are that people use. I use those to serve me. That's what idols are all about. So today in your discussion, let's talk about some things in our lives, some lesser gods that we may have fallen for, and how that we could return to the one true God, the God who is powerful, the God who does answer prayer, the God who does pursue us.